to Bloom, our next guest has gone from center stage in the spotlight to serving behind the scenes in hospice. Joining us now is Miranda Harrison-Quillin, who has been singing since she was in middle school. Miranda has a 4-octave range and can sing first soprano all the way down to baritone. However, Miranda's musical gifts haven't stopped her from pursuing her calling to serve as care coordinator at Suncoast Hospice. Welcome to Bloom, Miranda.
Thank you so much for having me, Gail.
Oh, so great to have you. What a special background that you have. I'm so excited to hear about it. Tell us more about your singing career and when you're on the stage, and then maybe how it parlays into what you do as a passion.
Well, I got my love of performing in musical theater from my late mother. I got my voice from her too. And I have had sort of a foot in both worlds of being on stage and performing and having this sense of call to serve others ever since I was really small. And so I've enjoyed kind of pursuing both of those throughout my life.
And so how do you kind of bring your passion together? Because I think a lot of people, unless they've had a personal experience with hospice, they always think of it as something super sad. But you know, hospice is actually a way to cope as the family and the patient with loss in a way that almost celebrates them. And you do that for the patients that you spend time with.
Exactly, Gail. Our goal is always to help the patient and their families with their goals for the end of life, whatever would be meaningful and important and special for them. So I try to invite myself into, and they invite me into their sacred story and of their life and of what's been important to them and meaningful. And that's really the same kind of thing as storytelling on the stage. So when I'm on the stage, I'm telling the story and inviting the audience in, and when I'm at the bedside giving pastoral care, I'm the audience, and the family and the patient, they're inviting me into their story.
That was interesting, because I was just going to ask you, like, the difference between being on a stage and performing, and then performing for the patient themselves, two different scopes. Very interesting. So tell us more about the spiritual care side of it.
Well, spiritual care can be connected to someone's faith tradition if they have one. It doesn't have to be. But really, spiritual care in the way that I provide it, and all of us chaplains have sort of our own style, but in the way that I provide it is I try to help folks access resources from their own faith tradition if they have one, access their own inner resilience, their own courage, their own patience, whatever it is that they need to go through the struggle that they have in front of them. And I try to help them connect with the hope that they have. For hospice patients at the end of life, they're no longer hoping for a cure or for their life to be extended, but they can have all kind of other hopes for their families after they're gone, for what happens with them after they die. So helping them connect to that which is most important to them.
That is so incredibly beautiful. I thought it was really sweet that we were talking before we came on camera that, you know, everyone has choices of music, but you really had like a Beatles fan. What did you sing to her? And can you sing just a little bit of it?
Oh my gosh, I had a patient who was a hoot and a half. She was all personality, and she was a huge Beatles fan, and she asked that we sing a little bit of Hey Jude at the bedside. So so we sang with her, and it was actually a moment where she was really in a lot of pain, and by the time we were done singing, we had sort of sung her to sleep, and so her pain was no longer impacting her that badly. So
that is really, really beautiful. I mean, this must mean so much to you on a personal level.
It really does. Both my grandparents died in hospice care years ago, and then more recently in 2018, my mother died in hospice care. And so it really is personal to me, and I'm just eternally grateful for the care that my loved ones received, and I feel really, really honored to be able to provide that for other people's loved ones.
It's just beautiful, and hospice was there for both of my parents in Tampa and Sarasota, so I thank you. It means everything. All right. For more information, you can visit suncoasthospice.org. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.